Hello and welcome to this analysis of the NQ and a little bit of the ES. Monday, 18th of November. Let's look at what happened last week. So we had a big move down. I was talking about short from up here. Wait, when was the last time I recorded? Okay, let's recap what I remember. So up here, I think I still have the drawings. I was making a video when this happened. And honestly, it was pretty nice. I got in here, I kind of stopped the video, and I got in pretty quickly after I saw what I wanted. And I wrote it into US Open, US pre-market. It wasn't even pre-market, it was open. Yeah. I got out when we took any liquidity. But I did... So I didn't expect it to move down and do all of this. But I did say that if we got closes low, that it would be pretty bearish and that it would be coming for gaps that were below us. And it did, and it did not stop. It did not stop. So yeah, that was a big drop. It was a big ass drop in Friday. Huge, just this big U shape. This block up here, I was saying that I didn't want to come for it. I was saying, you know, it would be nice for us to get the reaction earlier because of the implications of coming for that block that early. With the structure that we had coming for that block, I would have been a bit iffy about it. But now I'm liking the potential of this block in the future, so I'm going to keep it there. I'm going to get rid of all this. Yeah, keep everything else. But yeah, get a piece of structure broken there, and it's, you know, it's higher time frame stuff now. This whole region, cut right through this consolidation. Cut lower and lower, just kept going. I didn't trade any US or anything, but yeah, it was kind of crazy. So where are we now? We're back down around the consolidation that led to the change of character before the around the US election announcement. Downside potential macro-wise is really looming, I think. So let's look at our gaps. Don't show this. We mostly filled this gap that was down here. Oh, actually, I shouldn't remove that because it is that's actually an active gap. Yeah, so if we go to the RTH, we have this gap here. We've nearly filled this one fully. And we have a lot of things below us that, you know, I've been saying for a while that we can come to, but when we come here, I don't know. I feel like because of the scale of this kind of internal long squeeze is what it feels like. I feel like we could get some chop in here before we start making our way down. Like we could come straight down. Obviously, we could. That would be a bit crazy. I wouldn't be surprised if they had a retracement into here, even a small one, before continuing down, right? It's kind of difficult, though. It's kind of difficult right now, I'm finding, to say, kind of have a concrete idea of what could happen. So let's just do some TA. What happened today? So we got some absorption into here, and then Sydney opened up, broke internal structure here. So this is kind of this change of character here. And then we had like a break of structure here. This would be a break of structure, but it's kind of still unproven to me. yet. We have all of this in here that we can retrace into. Being aware of what's above us. We have some blocks that are above us. We got a reaction today during Asia up here. So I'll put the little Japanese flag here. And it kind of front ran this block that I was looking at, which I thought was a nicer block than the one it reacted off, but it's fine. We have an area here that looks interesting. But this whole move up, we've left a lot of vector recovery, you know? So they can just bring it up deep into this before continuing down. Like the last notable kind of liquidity grab area is rather high. So this could be considered a wash here, which is actually just the top of the UK block. If we break past this, I feel like this liquidity in here is definitely just kind of sitting open. That's why I have a few of them marked, but I mean, it's a bit messy at the moment. I want to wait and see what develops around here. This drop is fresh, right? So I'm gonna wait and see. This was an old point of control. Let's look at volume. So we did kind of react off a large kind of high volume node. It's kind of point of control of this whole area, and we had a gap here, a little volume gap that we got a reaction off. Now money flow is extremely thick, and what happened here was we had crazy money flow divergences, and I've been talking about it for ages. And you know you can talk about things for a while, and you just don't. Sometimes you just don't catch the exact, the exact time it's going to follow through. Like they could have swiped higher again, but it did have signs of retracing. And I think once it took this high, and money flow was so thin, and it div, like it just all added up to one big drop, right? So unless we get something counter to this, so on the higher time frames, money flow is still thick, I think. Yeah. Jesus. Wow. Yeah, damn. It's like a weekly div. Yeah, I don't know. Like it's seeming genuinely bearish. The more that I look at it. Yeah, like any retracements up here, I would be kind of cautious about longing with this kind of thing going on. Kind of longs off maybe the point of control of this change of character. You could try, but like we're right above so many flat lows, and everything. Just so much stacked liquidity, and like still a gap that hasn't been fully filled. And on the ES, that gap I think is a bit more notable as well. Let's have a look. Oh damn. There's still a load of a gap here to fill. That's mad. Okay. Yeah, we also have one down here with flat lows. I mean, yeah. Currently on our lower time frames, they have manufactured thick money flow, and I would like to see recovery and some nice grabs coming up internally before taking any big continuation shorts. Because of this move, I feel like we could spend time here. You got to imagine like the amount of money that's been taken here is substantial, right? And they spent a lot of money to push it down very quickly. So, I mean, we have a couple of targets upside. If I was going to take any longs, like, they would be very local, very, very local pulls. So I believe we have a past daily view up down here from Friday. Yeah, down here. Past daily view up is here. Actually, the lower band. Past daily view up anyway. Down here. And we have the point of control of this little change of character. Oh, it's not really naked though. Just say it's So I guess we could get little bounces from here. You know, but the thing is, like, so this is Sydney's low right here from opening on Monday. Losing that low would be kind of not great, like, and it doesn't look like, it looks like it could, if it gets hit, it could get lost, in my opinion. We have this block above us. I'd like that block to be hit and take a short from that, maybe even just into structure. I think that would be kind of nice. The kind of front runner nice. There's a big volume, steep volume drop off there. So if it couldn't stay there, it might want to come down to the higher volume node. So that might be something that UK does. I don't know. Both Asia and UK washed liquidity before moving down nicely. I'm still having my eyes on this. It's a past significant structural area. And up here is kind of it's a nice break of structure. There's a lot of previous structural points up here. It's kind of psychological numbers, 21K, you know. It's a nice red vector recovery we can get up here. Both of these blocks would be interesting to hit. I'm going to get rid of that for now. But we do also have stacked highs above us. But I think coming deep into this area would be rather interesting. But we're all the way down here now, so let's just see. And I'm going to be honest with you, it's kind of difficult, this right now. It's kind of difficult. Yeah. You know, we have a lot of reasons that I was looking at before the elections to come into this zone. A lot of reasons. And they're still there. If we go to like bigger structure, okay, sure, we may have swing failed this. But the root of the structure is kind of here. This was the last liquidity grab before this kind of breakaway gap, right? And this is the 4-hour break of structure, which means we can come into here. Like it's possible that we can come into here. Don't know when, but the thing about what they've done is like there's a lot of bullish precedent still in play when we take this liquidity. It's just the fact that kind of closing below this low here would be a crazy change. Like that would, closing within this gap, like significant closes below this 50% of this gap, that would be a large change. Like it would be a big change. While we're up here, you know, I noticed that like money flow at the moment is in an area that we can get a retracement up. Looking at 4-hour money flow, structure here is like very iffy. I'd feel like a lot of what we took here is just liquidity, like manufacturers liquidity, you could argue that this liquidity grab is a larger break of structure because of what happened here. Like this one or this one? When this is the change of character. Yeah, this one I felt like was taking liquidity. I guess this one, like both of these are significant, right? This was the last low. This was the last low before we broke the bigger structure, and this was the liquidity grab before this change of character really took off, right? Either way, determining whether these are swing fails or not, you want to see what structure is made after this push, because we don't know if this is just going to be a dead cat bounce or if it's going to be something that leads to more accumulation around here and then pushes up, right? So this is why I have these as dotted. But because of this big push up that was kind of in one go, these structural points are not as significant in my eyes as something like, let's say if we go back here, like this low being broken, like you remember this being broken, like, you know, we stayed down here for a bit after we broke this low. These are a bit different. They feel a bit different. They feel a bit more like that price can swing fail them and gain possibly some momentum internally here, which I feel happens, you know, like, let's see if I can find an example of this kind of thing. I guess like here, like this was a very, very just straight push up, price crashed down into it, but because there wasn't very, you know, significantly, like structurally significant points within this, it kind of just acted like liquidity for price to stay within the range and extend out in time before it made the move down, right? Same thing could happen here. We could range in here, and you know that would even benefit them to manufacture even more liquidity under here for people who think that it's going to keep going up, right? Or they spend so much time in here that they accumulate enough and they actually do move up, and the people who think it's going down, you know, yeah, it's what they would do after this kind of contained, as a self-contained move is I think they would range it. But because of what's below us, like there is also a chance that like this turns into just some weekly move that quickly pushes into lower liquidity pools. That's also possible. They can also do that. So yeah, it's a bit tricky, guys. This is a bit tricky. But it will become a bit clearer, I think, after things develop, right? Mondays are an interesting day to let them show you what they might want to do. Whether it's the fake move or it's really expansive or whatever. I like to play Mondays just very, very safe if I do play them. And I like them to just kind of give me a feel of what they might be doing. Like if they're going to be inducing certain areas or not, or if they're going to make a very significant break of structure or whatever. I just use it to kind of gain more data, right? So, yeah, I mean, I don't have much concrete things for you today, and I apologize a bit. You know, like, I mean, not every day. Every day you can't be like, well, this is the most likely. This is the most likely. Like right now, it's in a bit of a gray area. So I might just play some really local scalps or something. I like this block here. Get a reaction off that. Maybe a tiny scalp. You know, depending on how it looks. Because when money flow comes up there, if money flow is really diverging, we could get some nice retracements down on this leg up. Noting that if we take liquidity into here and base out, this can be this little break of structure confirmed. If we start breaking upwards again from here, we could get another push up deeper into the liquidity we've created, because the last important points for structure are kind of this one This one too. They're very close to each other. Structurally though, which one is closer to this? Yeah, maybe this one could have some inducement on it. I don't know. It's a bit difficult. It's a bit hard to say. Like, these are both significant breaks of structure. I have this one marked as a squid, which obviously when I did TA before, this one was more notable to me. So maybe could use this as a bit of an anchor for your idea of bearish bearish structure. If we get closes above here, you could decide that that's significant enough for us to have confirmed bullish precedent enough to come back up into here, which they can do. Like, they can do that. This is all internal for them right now. So Sydney started off on a bullish note, which is something, it's something noteworthy. Sydney led Asia to break structure that was created by US and change character a bit, and that's something notable. Like, they're low volume sessions, and they were able to just kind of push up and straight on the open, and we got to see if this whole thing is bull, not bullish but bull, or if it's true, and if this whole area turns into a bit of support and we get accumulation here, then yeah, it could come back up into here. So this is a huge move, right? And these big moves, like, if they want to range inside here, they definitely can. They can do that pretty easily. Either way, we're at the lower half of this. If you want to call this a range, we hit demand, right? So let's see what they do in these upper areas, if they get there. If we start breaking down lower into demand, sure, I would like to see some significant internal liquidity grabs to the upside for me to think about hopping on shorts. It's a bit late, I feel, relative to this range. But if something seems obvious to me, there's a chance I could take a short. But yeah, I'll just have to see. Currently, we're getting hidden money flow divs on this low. They're rather significant. We also got divs on this low down here. Price is still pretty bullish until we make significant breaks of structure. So these hidden money flow divs, they could manifest as price coming back up into this area. And I wouldn't be surprised if they did. I would not be surprised if they did. Depending on how they manufacture liquidity inside here, if they don't really accumulate and it just looks like they're distributing over the week, it could be another leg down, right? So we'll just have to see when the big boys come in. UK has opened here. We had Tokyo close, which was from here, this area. Well, it was actually a bit earlier. It's kind of around, yeah, it's around 2 o'clock that they start making that little move, which came down, and our last internal structural points are rather small. It seems like UK is, change character for now, pushing up. I'd like to see how UK either interacts with these external points, or if they start breaking down, there's a chance that they come for Sydney's low. But the thing is, a lot of the time, if Sydney's low accomplishes something well enough, I find that UK can continue with that precedent, especially with Asia, if Asia's highs are exposed. So just have to see, I'll just have to see. It's the best I got for you today, guys. It's not always clear, and that's fine. That's fine. I'll take trades when things are clear to me, and this is the best setup for the week, and it's the best kind of midterm view that I can put together right now. So I hope it helps. I hope it helps a bit. All right. Peace, guys. Happy trading, and I'll catch you tomorrow.